crochet crowd. Inspire, create, and celebrate. Let's learn something.
Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host, Mikey. There are two videos for this particular basket. And what we have here is the basket that you see here is done with slip stitching going up through the sides. And the other video that I did was single crochet. So you can decide to do either one. They both have a very different look to them, and because of that, it's nice to have some options. So what I'm going to do is take you through this video today. To be able to do this version, you'll need a 25mm crochet hook, a US 50, and you're just using one ball of Bernat blanket extra thick frosting, and I'll be showing you that yarn. So the first rounds that you'll see are very similar to the other video, and what we're going to do is once we hit the sides of it, we're going to be changing out to a slip stitch to create this look. I was kind of wondering in the other video why my basket did not look the same, and I just kind of glanced the instructions and I realized I missed slip stitch. It should have been slip stitch in the back loop when I put single crochet. So without further ado, we're going to get ourselves started, and then I'm going to show you how to go up to the sides later on in this video. Let's begin to do this process next. So just on camera here, the ball is absolutely ginormous. It's bigger than the size of my head, and the yarn is just changing color sequentially, as you see, and so each stitch would be fun. The color that I'm demonstrating on camera today is called Spectrum, and it's also Bernat blanket extra thick frosting. One ball, and we're going to play now. So we're going to begin. The bottom of the basket has us joining at the end of each round, and then the sides that we'll do was just a continuous spiral, which I will show you when we get there. You're not going to want to waste too much of this yarn, so when you create your first slip knot, just don't have a huge tail to it, just long enough that it will capture it into position. So a slip knot, so just wrap it around your finger twice and see how long that is. I don't want to waste it. Pop over. So this is, however you do a slip knot, it's the same method. So just make sure the tail end is relatively short, and you can insert your hook into there. So you want to go, when you're playing with this, all the way to the shaft of this. So you don't want to stay within the throat of this because it will be a different thickness. So make sure that when you are measuring, you are getting to the shaft. So you can find different size like styles of crochet hooks. This one was a handmade one down in the United States. So with the ball that you'll have coming to your hands, I would unravel a bit of it and get it ready so that there's no tension, so you don't have to fight it. And we're going to begin our first part. So the only difference between this yarn and regular yarn is that you have to exaggerate the motions of your hook. So sometimes it can make your hands tired. So just be aware of that. So if you're feeling that, it's not special. It's just because the motion is much more greater. So we're going to start off by chaining 2. So just use your whole hand and just pull it over top of your hook and yarn over, pull through. So this is chain 1. Shift it all the way down to the shaft before continuing so that you get the right thickness of the stitch, and then wrap the hook and chain again. So it was a total of 2 chains to equal the very first. And so what we want to do is use our thumb and our finger to separate the stitch work. So this is the stitch, second chain from the hook. This is the third chain that you'll see. So you got there. So that's 1, this is 2, and 3. And you can see this better in person. So you're going to want to play with this one here when we start the first round. So that will be second chain from the hook. So this is second and right there. Okay, so we're going to begin to do that next. So let's go, second chain from the hook. So we're going to go right here, right where my finger's coming out of. So it's the last chain before the slip knot is. And we want to do 7 single crochets into that one. So we don't want to wrap the hook first. We're just going to insert into that stitch. So just go all the way through it. You don't need to get to the shaft in order to insert through, and then you're just going to wrap it and pull through. And when you push forward, push it so that it gets to the shaft. So that was 1. See how it grows up bigger? Okay, and then yarn over, pull through 2. So that was number 1 of 7 single crochets that you need. So let's do the next one, the same hole or same chain. So just going on in, you don't wrap it first, so you just go on in and then wrap the hook through, and you're going to push it to the shaft to get the right thickness, and then yarning over, pulling it through 2. And that was 2 of 7. So same hole, in, wrap the hook, pull through, push to the shaft, yarn over, pull through 2. That was 3. In, yarn over, pull through, push to the shaft, pull through 2. That was 4. Same hole, yarn over, push through, push to the shaft. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more. So just in, pull through, push to the shaft, pull through 2. That was number 6, and finally number 7. So in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so I now have 7. You'll be able to count the tops of these stitches. They're pretty thick. Actually, this is so thick that you can see that one side of the loop is even a different color than the other. So we have 1, 2, 3, and you can use your fingers and feel it. 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 7th one back, or your very first single crochet, you're just going to insert the hook in and yarning over, pulling it through and through. That's a slip stitch to join it to have the very start. And now we're going to begin round number 2. So I'm going to unravel more yarn and get ready for round number 2. So I've unraveled more, I put it on my lap, and we're going to begin round number 2. To start round number 2, you're going to chain 1 first. So just yarning over, pulling it through, make sure you push it to the shaft. In the same one you did the join, you're going to do 2 single crochet, and you're going to do 2 single crochet in each one of the 7 as you're going around. So as you go into your first one, you can feel it with your fingers and where those stitches are. So don't be afraid to put your fingers into the holes. Okay, so we're going to put 2 single crochets into the first one. So just use your fingers to open the holes. Okay, so there were 2 into that one, and just look for the next one. It's right here, and my fingers just automatically can find the holes. Not so much on camera, but you can do it in person. 1 and 2. So continue to go all the way around, 2 single crochets in each one of the 7, so you should have 14 stitches by the time you get around. I'll see you at the end of the round in a moment. So I'm just zooming you out a little bit. So all 7 are done. They have 2 single crochets into it. Just reach out to the first one. Okay, get the first single crochet, and you're just going to slip stitch to pull it together. Okay, and we're moving on to round number 3. So it should stay relatively flat as a disc. It might just bulge up a little bit, but it will get better. And we're going to move on to number 3. Round number 3. We're going to chain 1 to begin. Push it to the shaft to get the thickness properly. And right where that's attached to, you can see that it's looping over to it. We're going to put in 1 single crochet into that stitch. And then in the next stitch, just feel for it, right here, there's going to be 2 single crochets in there. So what I need to do is unravel more yarn so that I'm not fighting with this thing coming off the ball that's so big that it's very possible to fight with your yarn. And so we're going to put 2 into the next one. So 1 and 2. I have dog hair on the floor, so I don't want it on the floor. But if it was on my couch upstairs, it wouldn't matter so much. So here's the sequence to repeat. The next one, you can just feel with it with your hand or your finger. There's going to be 1 single crochet there, and then the next one will have 2 single crochet, and I need you to repeat that all the way around, and by the time you get around, there should be 21 single crochets in a row. Please continue that sequence all the way around. I'll see you at the end of round number 3. I'm coming all the way around and I accidentally went too many. A tip I can use for you that I probably have to do for myself is that I'm going to label the very first stitch that I'm doing here with a stitch marker. Okay, so I'm just going to just put in a stitch marker here. And when I see this, this will help me identify it because it's so thick, it may be hard to see. So when you get all the way around, I'm going to then just put in a slip stitch to join it. Like that. Okay, therefore I know I've gone all the way around and I'm moving on to round number 4. So this will help me really see where I've stopped and started. Let's do round number 4. Round number 4 is the last time we're going to be growing this thing to be even bigger. So we're going to start by chaining 1, and in the same one you've done the attaching to, okay, is going to be a single crochet. And then the next one is also a single crochet. Just reach for it. Just use your fingers to help separate it. And then the next one after that is going to be 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Okay, so the sequence then for this entire round will be the next 2 are 1 single crochet each. And then the next one has 2 single crochets into the next stitch. Okay, and I need you to repeat that all the way around for round number 4. So I'm coming all the way back around. I'm using this as a verification that this is number 1. Just follow it straight on up, and I'm just going to slip stitch then to the first single crochet that we did in that round. So let's do your 5th and final round before we go up the side. You're going to chain 1. You don't have to add any more yarn to this. And what you have to do is that each one of these stitches, there's 2 strands that equal a stitch. You're going to concentrate on the furthest one away from your hook, which is called the back loop. So just using your thumb and your finger, just segregate that back loop only in single crochet. So you're only going through the back loop only, and this will cause the material to bend. So you're single crocheting on the back loop only. So just use your the fingers. So if I go through both of them, that's a stitch, but if I just go through the one furthest way, that's a back loop. So single crochet around the back loop all the way around to the very beginning once again. When you get back around, I want you to slip stitch and slip stitch to the back loop only. So don't slip stitch to the actual stitch, just the back loop only. And so now we're going to continue to go up the sides. I can see that I have a knot in my yarn ball coming up, and I will stop when I'm doing that, show you how to manipulate that. Also in the video description, you're going to see a link for this pattern, but I'm also going to put a link on how to attach thick yarn in case you want to add more than just this one ball, and I'll show you a good way of doing that too. So we're going to continue then going up the sides, and you no longer have to watch where you're ending or you're starting. You're just going to go in a continuous circle, and we're going to create the look of what it shows in the actual picture itself. Let's begin the sides. So now what we have to do is concentrate on the back loops only. So 2 strands equals a stitch. Concentrate on the back one, just use your finger to pull it out apart. The goal for this is that you need to get it, when you pull through, you need to pull it through so that you can get it to the shaft thickness and then pull through. If you pull through immediately, what's going to happen is that it's not going to have the same tension. Okay, so you go to the next back loop only, and you're going to go around and around using this technique until you run out of yarn. So what I'm going to have for you is that I have a knot in the yarn ball coming up, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to deal with that knot when we get there as well. So it will not be a big deal. And because it's really super fluffy yarn, it's pretty easy to hide. So I'll show you that in a moment as soon as I hit that. So we're just going to continue to go round and round. You no longer have to join, and you can just simply just go round and round. It's that simple. Let's come back when I have a knot. So I have a knot in the ball coming up. If you do not see the knot, when it's coming through your yarn feeding hand, you're going to feel there's a thickness difference and it will catch on your fingers. So if you're not looking or staring at your ball, you'll see that's happening. So what I'm going to do is that when I go to do my slip stitch here, I don't want to unravel that or break it. I just want to keep it in play and just kind of concentrate where that knot is and make sure it just stays on the inside of your basket if you can. Just kind of just manipulate it around so it gets stuck underneath the stitch work. You barely see it's there, and then you can use your thumb and your fingers just to kind of push it to the other side, and it will hold there as well. Why do I have too much on my hook? Because I didn't finish it. Okay, so just keep on going. And then what I'll do is I'll see at the top of the rim where I'll show you how to finish this off. And after a couple or so rounds of doing this slip stitching is that you're going to see that it will look just like the photo. So just take a few rounds before you'll get that final look as well. And it's pretty neat. I'll be back at the top of your basket. So after you've gone around and around, you're going to see these beautiful lines that have occurred. Almost like, reminds me of a bit of a record player. The original on the vinyl. Our younger generation probably won't remember that. So what you're going to do is you're just going to leave a long enough tail so that you can weave that into there. So you're just going to slip stitch. What do we have? So you're going to slip stitch and slip stitch. So it doesn't matter where you finish. So just slip stitch and then just pull a loop out. Okay, so we've gone in a continuous revolution, which means we've gone around and around without the slip stitching so that those lines are never impacted. And what we need to do is take that tail, and you could do it a little bit shorter too, so I probably could do it one more time, but I want to take it to the inside and drag that down. So it's already locked in a position, it will not unravel, and you're just going to go behind something. So you don't want this to be on the front side of the work at all. Just don't push it all the way through. And you're just going to go through. And once you pull it through, just use your hand to pull a loop through. Okay, and just give it a good tug, and then just keep on sinking down even more. So you're going to drag that tail down through the interior of the basket. And the goal is that that strand is long enough that you never, like if it starts to pull out or stretch, it will not pull out and just be left as a tail at the top. Okay. I'm just checking the other side of it. I don't see it at all, which is good. And so you can go down as far as you need and just let it rest. And therefore you have a beautiful basket to play with. That's it for today. And we hope to see your creativity online soon. Bye-bye.